What's going on, Jerome's? Taking another look at the Vikings quarterback big board. A championship weekend came and went this weekend. Bowl games are set. College football playoff as well. Let's see how they stacked up. So number one, Trevor Lawrence. Number three, Clemson. Put the bang thing on number two, Notre Dame, 34-10. ACC championship game. Again, it's weird Notre Dame playing championship games. Also, it's unfair that they play it at BOFA. In Charlotte, so it's basically Clemson's backyard. You don't hear those complaints about the Big Ten title game in Indianapolis about Purdue and Indiana. It's just weird. But Trevor Lawrence, 25-36, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 88.4 QBR, 90 yards on the ground, as well as 1 rushing touchdown. Revenge game, since Notre Dame did beat Clemson earlier in the season when Lawrence had to be out due to COVID, but full command of the offense, athleticism on point. Now, if you're a Jets fan, just seeing Trevor Lawrence out there throwing blocks for teammates, run and read option, not too great at sliding, you're just like, not so much. Also, the interception was off a tip. And Trevor Lawrence, even though he's not going to win the Heisman, which is amazing, just amazing. 3 years of Trevor Lawrence, potentially 2 national titles, and potentially 3 national title appearances. I mean, it's just insane, but it's whatever. But yeah, clear number one. He has it all. Upside of Andrew Luck, upside of John Elway, upside of Peyton Manning. Number 2, Justin Fields. Number 4, Ohio State outlasted Northwestern because they just give it to Trey Sermons. 331 yards on the ground. My goodness. But Justin Fields, yeah, 12-27, a buck 14, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, 34.6 QBR, 35 rush yards. Now, Northwestern had a great game plan against Fields, not so much against Sermon, but you've seen this now against Northwestern, against Indiana. If you get a rush on him, he will make big-time mistakes. Like his splits of when protected as opposed to when under pressure are night and day. And that gap, it's going to be an issue because if he goes to Jacksonville, he's not going to have a great offensive line, which in all likelihood, him at 2, unless Jacksonville wants to trade down and trade that pick for a fistful of picks. I mean, I get why he's going to be number 2. Because that size, that athleticism, that arm strength, and occasionally that arm talent, it's just there, right? And also, if you're a GM and you take this kid who has 2 years of major college experience, major college stats, was in the Heisman race, going back to college football playoff, you're not going to get fired. Well, you'll be fired more slowly than if you take a chance on Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. But yeah, I'm concerned. I'm really concerned because all of the quarterbacks after Lawrence certainly have their faults, and it seems like the consensus number 2 is Fields. I don't know if it'll be that way by the time everyone's done poking and prodding and looking at tape. I don't know. But number 3, our guy Zach Wilson, number 14, BYU. Then also at number 4, Trey Lance. So I moved him back up. So originally, just for drama purposes, not going to lie, Mac Jones and Kyle Trask had ascended above Trey Lance through no fault of Trey Lance's just because he's not playing. But I was thinking for a second, all right, so if I was a GM and I had to decide, so Lance, Jones, and Trask were on board, I'm taking Trey Lance every single time. And I actually want to find out if there's a place where I can put a couple of jelly beans down on this. Like, I firmly believe that Zach Wilson and Trey Lance will be drafted ahead of Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. And also, I don't know if Kyle Trask is a first-round pick, but we'll get to him. But with Trey Lance, I think that teams will fall back in love with him. I understand that he's out of the spotlight, sort of out of sight, out of mind. But during the draft process, hopefully he'll get invited to one of the postseason bowl games, and as well as put on a show at his pro day. Plus, going back and looking at his 2019 tape, even though, yes, he was a redshirt freshman, just the athleticism, the anticipation, taking care of the football, the dual threat nature of him. Wow. Just betting on traits, that's what you're doing with Wilson and Lance, as opposed to the just overall production of Jones and Trask. Now, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask squared off in the SEC title game. Bama, 52-46 win against Florida. Florida made a game at the end. But Mac Jones down one spot. Again, no fault of his own, but 34-43, 418, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 92.2 QBR. Now, the Heisman winner should be Devonta Smith. It should be. Like, I understand that the Heisman is basically a quarterback award, but Devonta Smith is a dude, man. I mean, his season it's been overshadowed, and it shouldn't be. He is a true blue receiving and return specialist threat. I love Devonta Smith. He's crazy. But, I mean, Mac Jones, I mean, we've said he is a phenomenal distributor of the football, but also it is so hard to parse out. Like, what is him? What is that NFL caliber offensive line? What is Devonta Smith and Najee Harris and all the weapons around him? And I do like Mac Jones. I think that a lot of Bama's success is a part of him, but I don't think he's a franchise changer. I don't. I do think that his absolute ceiling is a guy like Andy Dalton. And that's not meant as a slight. I mean, Andy Dalton was rock solid, a quarterback for the Bengals for a number of years, but he just was never that guy to get you over the hump. You can make the playoffs, you can win games with Andy Dalton, but will he go to the ship? I don't know. I don't know. But 6, Kyle Trask, Florida, lost to Bama, 26 of 40 for 408, 3 touchdowns, 91.4 QBR, also ran in a touchdown. And he's a great college quarterback. And I think Jones and Trask should be 1 and 2 for the Heisman. Well, Devonta Smith should win the Heisman, but I think maybe Mac Jones just edges out Trask. It's possible, but the lack of mobility will absolutely hurt him at the next level. Plus, we've talked ad nauseum about the Mullen-Meyer offense. It is, that spread option, easier reads, half-field reads, and not having to throw with the anticipation and precision that you need to in the NFL. So, I mean, great story. Absolutely love him. High character kid, but I don't know. 7, our guy Desmond Ridder, number 9 Cincinnati. Now, if I was given the choice between Desmond Ridder and Kyle Trask, I might take Desmond Ridder. I know the level of competition, as well as Ridder does have a tendency to force things at times, but I think you're just betting on the traits. You're betting on the arm talent and athleticism, Desmond Ridder. But yeah, Cincinnati in the AAC championship game, 27-24 over Tulsa, the game that's been delayed by like a month, but 19 of 29 for 269. Nice, 1 touchdown, 80.1 QBR, 83 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. I mean, also that Tulsa defense is legit. Absolutely great statement win in the rain. And so I love Desmond Ridder. I think that he may fall. I think that he may be down at the bottom of day 2, maybe even sneak into the top end of day 3. But either way, if the Vikings are going to roll with Kirk Cousins for 2 more years and you're looking for a mid-round guy to stash on the bench for a couple of years, I mean, Desmond Ridder would be my guy for that situation. Absolutely. 8, Derek King. Number 19, Miami, Georgia Tech. That game got canceled. Number 9, Ian Book, Notre Dame. 34-10 loss versus Clemson. Man, Clemson... they had a great game plan for Ian Book. 20-28 for 219, 0 touchdown, 64.0 QBR. So not only did Trevor Lawrence miss the initial Clemson game where Notre Dame beat the Tigers, but also a number of Clemson defenders were also out for that game. But Clemson just came in and destroyed Notre Dame up front, even though Notre Dame's got a legit offensive line. Kira Williams also got bottled up as well, one of the best running backs in college football. So yeah, it was a dismantling. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I like Ian Book. His height's going to be a knock against him. His average arm strength will be a knock against him, but he has decent athleticism. He has decent accuracy, and he does have some moxie to him, but it just wasn't happening. Like, he was under duress all damn game by Clemson up front, so is what it is. Number 10, Kellen Mond. Number 5, Texas A&M, up 2 spots, 34-13 win at Tennessee in a game that got rescheduled. 26 of 32, 281, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 89.3 QBR, 59 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. It's one of his best games. So Kellen Mond, he has absolutely been hot and cold. But in terms of his accuracy and anticipation, I love it. Plus athleticism, I think that he will be like a really fun day 3 pick. He may even fall to like the 5th round, depending on how teams see him. But if the Vikings were to stash a guy from the mid rounds, I would love Ridder. I would love Derek King. I'm good with Ian Book. I'm good with Kellen Mond. I mean, those are 4 names that are certainly intriguing in the mid rounds. And also, the Vikings have, well, as of right now, they have an extra 3rd. They have 2 extra 4ths. They have an extra 5th. And also, depending on the Trey Waynes comp pick, they may have an extra 4th. So they may have 4 4th round picks. So pick someone. My goodness. 11, Sam Ehlinger. 12, Brock Purdy. 6, Iowa State. Lost 27-21 versus Oklahoma. They came back at the end, tried to make it a game, but Matt Campbell's crew did not quite get it done. 27-40, 322, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 76.3 QBR, 33 rushing yards. Now, this is the bad Brock Purdy game. I mean, no one has good games and bad games like Brock Purdy. It's just, Just crazy, man. But that Sooners pass rush got to him, and Purdy gave it up. Did have one last chance at the end before throwing his third and final pick. But overall, great season by Iowa State. And it's going to be interesting to see where Purdy goes because he's got decent size. You like the moxie. He's got decent arm strength as well as accuracy. But the inconsistency, man, you can't ignore that. 13, Jamie Newman. So I'm actually hoping that Jamie Newman slides. Like, it'd be unfortunate for him, but if he falls into like the 5th, 6th round area, just betting on his tape from Wake Forest, he was going to enroll in Georgia, but then he opted out. But yeah, Dustin Crump from Kent State, also a guy, Maction, and then also 15, Tanner Morgan from the Gophers. So again, I think Tanner Morgan's going to come back for another year. But 2017 loss in overtime at Wisconsin. What is it with Minnesota football teams and kickers? It's just rough. But 13-25, $160, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 71.8 QBR. I had a nice wheel route for a touchdown. Also had a sneaky pooch punt. I mean, who does that? I mean, only in the Big Ten do you see a pooch punt, but it's whatever. Mo Ibrahim had like 150 yards again against Wisconsin. Dude's going to be great. Dude's going to be legit. And with the bowls and the playoffs set, we're going to see these most of these guys at least one, maybe 2 more times. So Lawrence and Clemson, as well as Ohio State and Justin Fields, are going to get on in the Sugar Bowl. That's a big-time matchup. That's going to be a fantastic game. Mac Jones and Alabama are going to take on Ian Book and Notre Dame, which... So Bama is already favored by 19. I don't know if that's enough, and that's going to take place in the quote-unquote Rose Bowl, which is actually going to be played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, a.k.a. Dallas, because California is like whatever this year. Zach Wilson and BYU is going to take on Central Florida in the Boca Raton Bowl. That's going to be a good game. I mean, Central Florida gave Desmond Ridder and Cincinnati all they could handle when they played in Orlando earlier this year. And Zach Wilson, last chance on a national stage. Hopefully he'll hold up better than the 2 days notice game against Coastal Carolina. Kyle Trask and Florida is going to take on Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. That's going to be a fun shootout, man. Kyle Trask versus Spencer Rattler and Lincoln Riley and the Sooners. Let's go. Aforementioned Desmond Ridder, big time game, man. Big time game, big time SEC opponent in the Peach Bowl, and this is exactly what they wanted. I mean, this is what Cincinnati and Luke Fickell wanted. If they couldn't get into the playoffs, they still have a chance to make a program-changing victory in this spot against Georgia, in Georgia's home state, in Hotlanta. Let's go. Let's see Desmond Ridder against a big-time defense. They got a ton of NFL caliber talent for the Bulldogs, so bring that one on. Derek King in Miami going to be taking on Oklahoma State in the Cheez-It Bowl. That's going to be fun, man. Like a bajillion points are going to be scored here. And I just love Derek King because he is just going to drag his team to victory one way or the other, usually. Except for North Carolina, but Kellen Mond, Texas A&M, they got shut out of the college football playoff. I think it's a little bit bogus, especially since Notre Dame just got spanked by Clemson, who's also in the playoffs. So, anyways, but A&M sort of got screwed. It is what it is. I mean, A&M didn't even play in the SEC title game, so it's whatever. But they play the aforementioned North Carolina. It's going to be a good game. Sam Ehlinger and Texas going to take on Colorado in the Alamo Bowl, as well as Brock Purdy and Iowa State going to take on Mario Cristobal. Just got himself a fat new extension, and the Oregon Ducks in the Fiesta Bowl. It's going to be a fun time there. Nice little get for Matt Campbell and that program as well. But lots of college football coming up, including the playoff. I want to see I want to see Clemson, Alabama back at it again. I know it's sort of boring at this point, but I think they are the 2 best teams. I think Clemson actually could put the bang thing on Ohio State. Bama's clearly just going to shred Notre Dame, probably worse than that national title game a couple years ago. Manti Te'o, like he literally did not show up. He was literally invisible that game, but there you go. But that's a look at quarterback big board. Your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.